Well, now it feels silly. I was just about to hit the button. Lugo, hello. Lugo, good morning. Something bumped the camera. Lugo, good morning. Thank you so much for the resub. For 30, I forgot to turn this on. For 31 months. Holy cow. Holy cow, Lugo, thank you so much. Thank you so much. How the heck are you doing, my friend? Actually, that reminds me. That reminds me. I went and got a lechonk for you, buddy. I gotta go, I'll send it to you in Discord after stream. I'll send it to you in Discord after stream. But thank you so much for the resub. How the heck are you doing, Lugo? How are you enjoying Mega Man Battle Network? How is it going? Are you on to volume 2 yet? Because I know you've probably been playing it a whole bunch. Oh, you're on 3. Okay, so yeah, so you're almost to the second collection. Did 3 have multiple versions? Did 3 have multiple versions? I think it was from 5 after. Yeah, okay. Okay, so 3 was when it started having 3 to 6 each have 2. Okay. Yeah, because I remember looking at it and I could only remember 5 for some reason. It's slow when I don't use Buster Max. Is that like a speed up? Is that like a Buster Max mode makes your Buster do 100 damage per shot? It's that. Oh, so it's just a get through it. It's a get through the game thing. That's fine. Listen, love those. I'm glad they put in a mode that's just like, listen, you're gonna do a bunch of damage, you're gonna get through it, and it's gonna be fine. To toggle in the menu so you can turn it off and on whenever. Yeah, it makes sense. It wouldn't work in versus. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm glad you can like turn it on. You can be like, listen, I hate this boss. I'm just gonna do this really quick. Boom, boom, boom. That's great. I don't mind that. That sounds nice. All right. So we got this. Great. Love it. Or if you want to grind and make it faster. Right, because you just be like, blap, 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 blap. Blap. Yeah, that makes sense. It's on the list. Make my Battle Network. Those look fun. I don't know if I want to play the old version for the retro achievements or if I want to play the new version for the new achievements. That's the most difficult part. Oh, it's the most difficult part, you know? I wonder how the DS games run. Like, I wonder how they format them. I wonder, because this is the like that I can think of. This is the first. Is this the first port of a DS game? No, the Ace Attorney games. The Ace Attorney games would have been the first port of a DS game. I didn't use the touchscreen all that much, so I'm curious. Hmm. I'll have to. Battle Network 5 wasn't ported. Only the G. Oh. First race tuning games are actually GBA games. Well, do we know? Say hello. Good morning. Do we know if so for Mega Man Battle Network they used the Game Boy version. Did they do the same thing with Ace Attorney? Curious. Because that means that the first port of a DS game is either going to be Ghost Trick when it comes out on modern platforms, or the Etrian Odyssey remake. Didn't the ZX games get ported? Those are is that a Mega Man game? Oh, ZX Legacy Collection, yeah. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Mega Man. Mega Man. Mega Man. Yeah, okay. Mega Man ZX was on the DS. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious. I'm really curious how they how the ports go, how they handle two screens, you know? I'll have to dig into Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing anybody like really talking about the quality. I wonder if the DS ones even used like dual screen in an interesting way. I wonder if it even uses the if it even used the dual screen in any way. I think they put the game in a stream style layout and put the other screen in the corner. I mean, that works if it works. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that works, then cool, you know, but like, I don't know what that game did with the second screen to know. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into that. Most games use it for maps. That's true. Most games didn't use it in a way that was like gameplay important. Oh, I tried to mute my mic to mute that and it didn't work. Thanks. Thanks, microphone. Every time I try to mute my mic for sneezing, it doesn't work. This button fucking trolls me so hard. Here, let's go to YouTube and look at Mega Man ZX gameplay. Oh, well, this is from the Legacy Collection, so that's... Battle Network 5 DS, use it to play as other Navis you unlocked in battle. Yeah, it looks like it's literally just there, and there's like almost nothing. Buster edit. Okay, so there's something there at one point, but then there's nothing there like the whole rest of the video. Yeah, okay, so it looks like there can be something there, but it doesn't happen often, so okay. I wonder what the first, like, non-coward port of the DS is going to be, where it's literally just two screens side by side in the screen with touchscreen controls, like... It's really funny that Nintendo basically made an unportable console. Between that and most Wii games, like it at least helps that.
Howdy doody rootin' tooty, here's a spacer robot with a booty.
Jalen! Jalen, good morning. Jalen, thank you so much for that resub for 34 months. Oh my god, some of these numbers. Most of that at tier 2, thank you, buddy. Oh my gosh. Jalen, thank you for that resub. How the heck are you doing? How the heck are you? We're just sitting here talking about Mega Man. Seen some of the sleeper designs, they're thick. That's true. That's true. You know, you're not wrong. Sore from back day, but good. Oh, dag. I love jacking in. You're like, Mega Man, please. Mega Man, not in front of the children. Oh my goodness. Yeah, how was everybody's weekends? What did everybody get up to? I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Aaron and I went out for community day. We had a good time. I forgot to post the pictures to the Discord. I should do that after stream. But we went out for community day. We went to a different park than we normally do, which was nice, you know, little different park, little different scenery. I don't think I like it as much as our regular park. I don't know. It's hard to say. Park affair. Park betrayal. Well, we wanted to go to a shop in one of the other little townships, I guess. I guess you would call it. Because I wanted some tea, and they had some tea there. And Aaron's like, "Oh, well, we'll go there. We'll get the tea, and then we'll go to the park that's over there. It'll be great." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds fine." It is a nice park. Like, we went and got Moe's, and we sat and had lunch. We paid way too much for Moe's because Moe's is very expensive. And then we get to walk around. We get to walk around the park. They were setting up for a block party while we were there, which was very interesting to go from like very quiet park to then just like a lot of thumping music. It was fine. It was just kind of surprising. It was just like, this has happened. Any Poppy's Taco review? We haven't been to Poppy's Tacos in a minute. I was telling Aaron the other day. I really want to go again. I really want to go again because we haven't been in a little bit, and it's mostly because it's just in a different part of town than we normally go to. It's downtown, and we just don't go downtown that often. So, but I was thinking just the other day. I was like, we should go. We should go have Poppy's Tacos again. Nice and tasty. Okay, that's all set. But yeah, we the Moe's was fine. It was Moe's, It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's get Stream Raiders going before we get into it. Yeah, here we go. Get Stream Raiders started. So yeah, we went and had Moe's. We went to the community day. It was a good time. P3EO. Gosh, where does that put Persona 3? Puts it at number 5. That puts Persona 3 at number 5. Also, Jesse, hello, good morning. Officially overtaking Final Fantasy VI. Officially overtaking Final Fantasy VI. Boop. Those top 5 games are stacked. Jesse, how are you this morning? Hope you're having good Monday. Hope your Monday is good. I hope you are hope you're good. Hope you had a good weekend. I hope things are good. Hope things are going well. All right. Everything is good. Let's start the game. The fun of like checking all kinds of stuff before the exhausted. Friends in an Evil Dead marathon, but all live an hour plus for me, so I got home late. It was very fun though. Okay. So before we started the game, that reminded me of a thing yesterday. So Aaron's best friend called us yesterday. And it's her best friend, right? And it's the parents of our godson. So she's talking, and her husband runs like an on again off again D&D game with some of them. And she said something like this the last time we were there, but I guess that's kind of crystallized the idea. She's like, you know what I like the idea of? She's like, I don't want to play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't want to play D&D. I want my house to be the house where people come to play D&D, and there's like people in the house, and you know, I make food and snacks and all of that. And we were like, that's a good thing, sweetie. Like, you know, you gotta have those people, you know, someone needs to be that person, you know, ideally someone needs to be that person. And she's like, yeah. And so she goes, she's like, I'm thinking of inviting some of our neighbors. Like, we've met some of our neighbors. And they seem like nerdy people. They seem like they would be interested. And I think it would be good, you know, just get more people in the house and that sort of thing. I'm like, okay. So she calls us, and she, you know, she's telling us about it. She goes, and I wanted to see, because I know y'all play games. She goes, I wanted to see, you know, if you would be interested, if you would be interested in coming out. And I'm like, and we're like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah. You know, she lives in Atlanta, which is like 2.5 hours. Absolute least 2.5 hours. And she's like, yeah, like that's not impossible, you know, that's not impossible. Like, you know, set out a little early on a Saturday, figure that out. I'm like, okay, that's not, you know, it's not the worst thing that's going to happen in the world. And then she goes, yeah, okay. She's like, I was thinking of doing it like every other week. And I was like, and bless Aaron for being like, sweetie, we can't do that. Like that's too much driving every other week. Like, that's not even considering the fact that we would either have to bring the dog or get a dog sitter. Both of which change the situation drastically in different ways. So it was a very funny turn to the conversation where it's like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking every other week. It's like every other week is great if it doesn't include people that have to drive 2.5 hours. Like, no way, TTRPG already takes too much time for get driving. Yeah, it's the thing where, like, we love them. They're great people. It's not that big of an ask when we go out and we spend the weekend there. Because that's what we've done that in the past. We've taken Josie and we go and we stay the weekend at their house, and then we go home. And that's fine. That's a great way to do it. But it's like you're asking me to spend almost as much time in the car driving to you as I would doing the thing I'm there to do, you know? So yeah, Erin was like, you know, she's like, we probably wouldn't make every one of those, but she's like, we could do like every other one or something like that. And I was like, sweetie, please. But let's get into it. It's just very funny. Sapphire, good morning. How are ya? Gosh, 53 cycles. 53 cycles, amazing. One day of work this week that I'm off till next Tuesday? Heck yeah. Love that. Are you just taking some time off? You're just taking some time for yourself? Just review everything. Oh yeah, that's right. The robotics club, right? We just talked about that. Right. Oh, so you're gonna be there like a while, huh? You're gonna be there a while. I'm just looking at everything, trying to put thoughts back in my brain. Is your team competing, like, is there things to do the whole time? Taking 2 days to travel, since it's Ohio to Texas, this is a 16-hour drive. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, so you're driving. That makes sense then. That makes sense then. Yeah. Do you have, like, is there gonna be stuff to do every, not, you know, maybe not every day, but is there, like, multiple things going on? That's good. So your team's gonna stay busy. That's good. That's good. That's good. Because it would really stink if it was like the one thing and then there's just multiple days and they're like, ah, whatever. But is there more? So I know you mentioned there was like the multiple leagues, right, of like different age groups and stuff. Are there like other events in addition to that? Like, are there like workshops and panels and stuff? Like people talking about like, oh yeah, here's how I made this robot. Here's how I did this and that. I'm gonna buy this last scrap. I'm gonna buy this last one. I think it's good. All right, so getting back. Workshops. There's college talk to the high schoolers if they're interested. Oh, that's cool. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's a great way to get connected to a college that you know has something that you're interested in. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, I think... Look at you. Listen, Jalen, I'm good at games. All right, I need more Havenage data. I think he wants both. Yeah, we were clearing stuff up on Thursday, Friday. We were getting through it. Yeah, I wanted a +1 in everything at the very least. I wanted a +1 in everything, like, immediately. I don't want to hear I'm bad at games ever again. Oh, no, that's not true. Jalen, I'm terrible at games. Jalen. You've shown your hubris before the god of games. Don't slip. Feed my cat. Oh, I didn't realize I was low on energy. Oh, I should have. I didn't. Okay. Oh, that's annoying. I thought. Okay. I'm really good at games. Immediately fucks up. Love it. Oh, I need this Havenage data. Let's get this done since we don't have any big pressing. We don't have anything pressing. We can float for a little bit. We can figure out what's going on. Because I know. Oh, Tala has a thing. Oh, Tala just finished the still. Right. Tala just finished the still. Okay. So I have a whole ass other ship mind that I think the only thing I can do is sell it. It seems like an incredibly valuable thing to keep a hand on. You know what I mean? So the wastes just do that. Okay. Bulba.exe and Quaxley.exe. Oh my gosh. I need to spend some time on some drawings. Goodness gracious. Tharsis is sure looking different from what I remember. Bless everybody that sees this game and thinks of Tharsis. I love you. I love it. Oh no, oh no, it's oh no, Kira, we parasocialed. Kira, how are you today? How's your Monday going? There we go. It's okay if it's mutual. Wait, I think a mutual parasocial relationship is just called friendship? I don't know. Someone check me on that. All right. Tala comes to you one shift when the bar is empty, tapping you on the shoulder as you clean the bar. It's ready. She's grinning from ear to ear. Can I try? Obviously. She grabs you by the arm before you ask anything else and drags you into the back room. The problem with parasocial is that one side is a way overinflated idea of the relationship. That's true. That's true. That is what causes the problem. The smell hits you immediately when you enter, a cocktail of rich fermentation and chemical sharpness. The room is warm and bright now, the newly installed lights making the place look clean, whether it is or not. Tal has already pulled up a couple of stools around a metal crate, where two glasses with a few fingers of pale griol inside sit waiting. Ugh, words. I feel like I've got enough signs you appreciate me as a friend that this is not parasocial. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I just feel like it's a thing that I think a lot about and I hear people talk a lot about, and I like consider a lot that like content creation, if you don't watch your ass, is basically exploiting people's parasocial feelings. Like if you're not very aware that that is an outcome and very aware of intentionally avoiding that, and it's a thing I've actively tried not to do, you know, and I think a lot of people do, and I think some people don't unintentionally, and I think some people don't intentionally. Do you know what I mean? Like some people definitely exploit it accidentally, and some people definitely exploit it intentionally. And it's always a bummer when you see the second one. She smiles. I haven't even tried it yet. You can see she's nervous. You both sit at the makeshift table, the slight strangeness of the situation making you both jumpy. Tala hands you a glass. Gotta hustle, oof. Cheers, she says solemnly and knocks the glass back. You do the same. Yeah, best you could do is both drink it at the same time. The first sensation is burning. A sharp nose-clearing blast of alcohol that has your frame querying whether you'd like to activate safe mode. You gulp the drink back, and it's only then, behind the burn, you taste the earthy tones of the mushrooms, the wood, and the soil, left behind like sediment. Barely there. That's strong. That sounds strong. Tala nods vigorously. Woof, that was heavy. I favor hanging out the streams that are small enough. Actual mutual interactions are easily possible. Otherwise, I just tend to not talk. Yeah, this is a belief I've held for a long time, is that at a certain, like, streaming's a very interesting animal where with enough people, it becomes like you're at the theater, right? You're watching a movie. You might be able to have small interactions with people, but that's not the intent. You know what I mean? That's not the point. You know, that's not what you're here for. You're here for whatever's happening on the screen. Like I was watching Gerard over the weekend. He was raising money for Video Game History Foundation. And I had it on and I was watching the stream, and every so often I would look over to chat to see what some people were saying, because some people would make a good joke and you'd be like, that's funny. And that's it. I wouldn't type in the chat that person was funny or try to like respond to them or play off their jokes or anything like that. I would just be like, that's funny. It's like being on Twitter, crossing the 10K mark. The experience is about to get very different and probably a lot worse. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's very funny to me that one of the things you get when you get verified on Twitter is like actively better security controls. It was always funny when people would get verified and they would be like, oh, this is just better. This is just actively nicer. Yeah, I was starting to get up there in followers. I think I was floating around like, I want to say 3K. I don't know if that's true. I was starting to get around. I didn't worry about follower numbers as much as I was interested in having cool mutuals. You know, for me, that's what I was focusing on, cool people to interact with and like cool people to follow their shit. So I wasn't as worried about followers as like a thing that like I thought about it a bunch, you know? Twittering doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, that's true. I was telling Aaron about that the other day. Nowhere close to it. I plan on keeping it that way. Yeah, it feels like 10K is that mark where it's just like, we're in a different thing now. We're in a different thing. I don't know if we want to dilute it, giving up trying to use my Twitter to get any sort of response from people. I wish I had Twitter for the amount of times that like I want to speak to somebody. Like the Gerard thing. It was nice watching the stream. It was a really good time, but there were no closed captions. There wasn't even an attempt at captions. And so I wish I had Twitter to be able to like, you know, more kind of quickly be like at Gerard, you know, at the completionist, and be like, hey, I'm really enjoying the stream, but I really wish there were captions. You know, it would be nice to see an attempt at captions. And because a lot of people don't set up, and understandably so, don't set up ways for people to contact them, you know, like I don't think I could go to like Gerard's website or YouTube and be like, hey Gerard, but you know what I mean? Like there was something about Twitter that made that kind of communication just really seamless and a lot less painful. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't feel weird to be like, hey Gerard, blah, 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 blah. You know, hope you're good. And just tweet that. And that's, you know, that's fine. That's a tweet you can make. I've seen a meme like describe me as a sword or something going on. And I'll get zero responses even from friends. I just don't like those memes. Those memes have always felt very engagement beggy in a weird way. You know? Use Twitter for two purposes, keeping up with friends and following some artists. Yeah, and so many people use Twitter. This is the thing I think I've talked about before. So many people use Twitter as basically their only method of communication. Of like, this is the only way to follow information about this project that I'm making. So like, if I wanted to know stuff about Friends of the Table, that was it. You know, that was the only way to know. They're getting better about like uploading stuff to their Patreon and other places, but that's the thing that still kills me about Twitter is how many people just go, well, I have a Twitter. And you're like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think it has promise. It sounds good. It sounds like it just hits hard at the beginning. You think? She swirls the glass. Wait, I have an idea. Tala grabs a metal bottle from the newly installed work surface, adds a few drops of water. Try again. This time the burn is a warming glow, harsh but fading off, and the woodiness less heavy. You taste something floral in among the marshy decay. Something fresh and bright that you didn't expect to find. Both you and Tala meet eyes. It's really good, right? Turning as DM should not be the only way I can communicate with you in a professional capacity, and it should not be the main way. 100%. I think Aaron and I were talking about this. I don't remember if it was on stream. But, like, as a professional, your DMs should be the first line of communication, right? It should be the, say I'm a person that wants to get in contact with you, right? A DM should be me reaching out, being like, hey, what's the best way to contact you? And you give me a non-public facing email. You know what I mean? Or if you have a public facing email, that's fine. But like, DMs are a way to exchange that first step of information that then you can have an email conversation, you know, or a text conversation, I guess, if you want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's so wild to me. You see people who like do all of this business in Twitter DMs, and I'm like, dog, get an email. Send an This is an email. This Twitter thread should be an email. Because that person's gonna block you, and then all those DMs are gonna go away, and then what? Tyler grins with her whole face, and that makes you smile too. Tyler pours out some more grill, then adds some more water. The action's already taking on the quality of a ritual. You both drink. Tyler tucks her feet up beneath her on the stool, folding her legs. She looks down in her glass and swirls the liquid thoughtfully. What's on your mind? She looks up, nothing in particular. My father opened this place, you know. She says out of nowhere, thoughts suddenly becoming words. It was his attempt at making a life for us, for my family when we got to the Eye. You were refugees? From Sinza, yeah, one of Ember's lesser moons. She takes a drink. I don't remember much. I was only tiny when we came. I was thinking about something my dad told me. When he first set this place up, he wanted to call it the Batayan, but he was afraid it would scare off the customers, so he kind of translated. Hence the Overlook. These past few cycles, when I've been in here, I've been thinking I should rename the place. The Bantayan. What do you think? What does it mean? Dad said it translated to Overlook, so something like that. Watchtower, maybe? Lookout? Tala picks up her glass. That settles it then. To the Bantayan. You both clunk your glasses and drink up. Okay, hang on. We're gonna look right here where it says owner of the Overlook. Oh, it hasn't changed yet. Tala hisses through her teeth. Still harsh. She laughs, then suddenly grabs your shoulder. Oh, sleeper! I totally forgot. She stumbles to her feet. She lurches over to a corner of the room, covered with a plastic sheet, and whips it off like a magician performing a trick. Beneath it is a neat little kitchen. A sink, a work surface, a compact oven with a hob. Your kitchen! She doesn't give you time to respond. You can come make stuff here anytime, as long as you promise not to raid the mushroom farm. I need those for the grill. I was thinking, too, that if things pick up, we could start serving proper food at the the Bantayan, she laughs. Do you like it? I mean, listen, that's all you need is... Listen, I've played a good amount of Played Up. A sink, a workstation, and a hob. Nailed it. Tala gives you a hug, then quickly stands back. I'm sorry, I'm just so glad you're here, she grins. Me too. As Tala ties away the glasses, you inspect the kitchen, checking that it all works. It's small and salvaged, but after what you've had to put up with, it feels like a dream come true. Later, when she's done for the day, Tala comes back through to the bar, and you share a glass of the good grill, the one she didn't distill. And this time we talk about nothing in particular, sharing stories about regulars or discussing the best place to eat on the Eye. Which, after everything's happened, feels like a nice change of pace. When it comes time for you to leave, you promise to cook for Tala, and agree to let her know which shift she'll be working in the coming cycles, then slip out in the cool of the rotunda. This moment you feel, at once, at home. Drive complete! Woo! Free Spirit. That's funny. That's a cute name. Help a friend distill their future. That's great. The Bantayan. Oh, look, so now we can cook We can cook mushrooms or still work at the bar. Great. I'd love to see it. All right. I don't think there's anything I can do without action dice, so I'm gonna use another salvage because I think it needs to be in that square when I get there, so we're trying to hold on to the stabilizer for if stuff gets bad. Matt, why would stuff get bad, dog? Let's see here. Okay, 2 more cycles for her. It's a fun noise. I think... Okay. So again, we're at a chill time. I could try to finish up working for Rabiha or work on the side reel, which I think working on the side reel advances Liam's story. Joke's on you, communicating with me in a professional capacity is impossible. Okay. Oh. Emphas. Oh, Emphas's thing finished. Emphas is preparing the Masutake caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth before shaving the stalks as if he was sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white of the flesh within. These are good, Sleeper. Very good, he says without looking up. I bartered with Mingi for some kelp, too, so we can brew the dashi. You know Mingi? Emphas looks up from cutting with a smile. Everyone knows Mingi. Emphas slides the sliced Masutake mushrooms to one side and takes out a closed pan. He opens the lid, you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in a bath of water. Been soaking it since last cycle, Emphas explains. Should be good to warm now. Oh, is that a thing you gotta do? He places the pan over the burner and turns it to low. We have some time now. He wipes his hand clean and throws the cloth over his shoulder. However, there's one difference this cycle. He smiles. You've been the one providing the ingredients, so it's my turn to tell a story. Okay. Good. The story is important to me. He gestures for you to both sit on the folding stools behind the stall. You see these? Emphas runs a hand over his forearm, tracing the circular scars that mark them like perfect bite marks. Conway called it an anchored interface rig, a mechanical control device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We called it a bone suit. He points to a pattern of larger circles in his shoulder. They drill in and anchor it here, then all the way down the arm. He taps each scar on the way. It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly, a one-to-one mechanical replication. You swing your arm, a 2-ton arm swings too. You should have seen the recruitment vids. Strong people in even stronger suits, tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half my graduating year signed up, from company school to company shuttle. Oh, Stream Raiders didn't go well. Alright, let's try again. Conway from birth to death. He stares off into the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failures was high, and failures means arms torn off, anchors torn out, broken bones. Bad stuff. After a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, they said. He checks the broth, turning down the heat and adding the mushrooms. So there we were, hundreds of us with surgical alterations for suits that didn't work. They sent us home, back to that company colony that spat us out to be cleaners, drivers, cooks. They gave us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. When I deserted, bribing some passing spacers to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple others left. The rest just faded away. Arthritis, osteoporosis. They folded in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn. He touches the scars. What burns worse is the betrayal. I've been on the eye a long time now, but that'll never fade. Not that or the faces of my friends. Emphas reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It's ready. Thank you, Emphas. Thank you for listening. I will not let their story die, and as long as I'm telling it, it'll remain. Emphas pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through your hands, and the smell drifts up, rich and sharp, like a pine forest after the rain. You drink the broth slowly, chewing the matsutake and thinking. Emphas busies himself with cleaning the pans in the bowl and sealing the kelp back up for another day. Then he quietly comes to sit next to you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring instead to let the story linger in the air a little longer. It's not that there's nothing to say, it's that sometimes, in the moments after something, speaking breaks the spell. As you both idle, eager to be in each other's company, Emphas taking longer over his cleaning and his packing, and you savoring the... Oh, so you both idle, eager to be in each other's company, Emphas taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savoring the final dregs of broth. When you finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break, and the story leaves you both. And as you leave, you know that both of you are somehow a little more empty, and a little more full than before. Woo! Now we're friends with Emphas. Drive complete. Don't trust corpos. Sadly, there is often not a choice. All right. Let's see about trying to work this Haifa stuff. Which means I'm burning energy, but we're making progress. Communist! Achievement unlocked, communist! Communist, noun, to someone who joins a commune. Perfect. Rico, head of Haifa Botany. You head down to the Haifa compound, following... Excuse me, hang on. You head down into the Haifa compound, following a blue-painted line that's labeled Laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they'd asked to see you. You still have no idea what that's about. The line takes you to a blue door, and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing on a lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk, she says and beckons you closer. Who are you? Of course, my apologies. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. I mean, what is Haifa? We actually don't know. She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here. We feed each other. We work for each other. Hell yeah, communists! Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All of this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, is a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this, when they're abandoned? They probably die. They die? Eventually, yes. They cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here, they endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, no. They thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they're taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlin himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agricultural systems like kelp and fungal farmsteads. And yet, here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround it. It is wet, too, a rarity on the Eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers on the shiny broad leaves of shrubs. How? That's exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system's stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Aren't you the botanist? Astutely noticed, but I don't need a botanist. Rico sits on a railing. These halls run deep, sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating over the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beans. I thought she said hardly beans, and I was about to be like, we're having a fucking conversation. You sleepers are hardy beings. I know that much, and you can speak to the Eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they're found, the better. I'll try. Thank you, she smiles. And thank you for listening. Rico leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She's a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her when you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made. You follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the while thinking of that impossible magical green. New drive discovered. Help Rico's experiments. The botanist Rico wants you to help her understand the closed ecosystem of the Greenway. Collect spores for Rico. Okay, so just spores. She needs 3 of them. We can also go to the Haifa dorm, which is a place we can rest. Okay, well that's good. You know, these are probably good if that guy is tracking us. I bet you he like blows up our shipping container or something. You know what I mean? I bet you he blows up our shipping container. Okay. Alright, and feed the stray. And rest. Okay. Merchant freighter is here. I think all I can do with this ship mind is sell it, but I don't want to do that out of hand, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is that other ship coming in. Oh, I think it's one more cycle for Bliss. Yeah, one more cycle for Bliss. So I've got this seed. I need somewhere safe to plant this seed. And I don't think I've yet found a place. Oh, cripes. Well, that's a lot of energy. So, gotta figure out where to get that. Oh my gosh. Fine then. Goodness gracious. Everything is not going well right now. And I took freaking condition damage. Ugh. It's my last scrap. Are there other places to... Wow, that's a lot of dice. Oh, Moritz. Oh yeah, cause Bliss is done. Sleeper. Moritz is waiting for you on your way out. How have you been? Surviving. Moritz nods. That's the struggle. He glances around. He runs his hands through his hair. I've been meaning to ask you, Sleeper. What's it like? He pauses, suddenly unsure. I mean, you know, what does it feel like? To be a sleeper? Yeah. If you don't mind. It's definitely strange. Yeah. I know I can't understand it, you know, with your framing, well, everything else. But I wanted to say I have a lot of sympathy for it, like having to find a place, having to survive, having no future. He looks down. A lot of people around here understand that. I want to give him like a street kid accent, you know what I mean? Moritz looks away. You notice him for the first time, not just as Bliss's assistant, but as someone with their own worries, their own struggle, their own life. You feel bad for not noticing earlier. Embodying the periphery. Moritz looks back at you. Anyway, I got a message for you. Bliss sent me down. We've scored another contract and she needs your help. I mean, it's a great day to have a lot of dice. That's the message. He pauses. Look, I know the last time the payment didn't come through.
Did somebody want some Bezos coins?
Oh, God. Helix, thank you so much for subscribing with your Prime Gaming sub. Holy cow, thank you so much for the resub. How the heck are you doing today? Gosh, 27 months in a row. Holy cats. Holy freaking cats. Helix, how are you doing today? I hope your Monday's going well. Look, I know the last time the payment didn't come through. You did work. You did good work. Bliss knows that. That's no problem. Okay then. He pauses again. She's doing her best, you know? Yeah, I know. He nods. You see you up there. Morse turns and strides off, leaving you in the corridor. Time to help Bliss, and maybe this time, you think to herself, it'll work out. It fucking better work out, man. Let me tell you, I'm I know it wasn't her fault, but also I'm annoyed that you got your bank account stolen and you used the same bank account. Playing 3 hopes, trying to get in good spirits, even though I'm upset I didn't get a job I wanted. Helix, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that, buddy. That really sucks. That really sucks. I'm sorry. Okay, so regardless of the action I take, oh man, okay, so yeah, even though it's safe, you can't be throwing just so many pluses. I hope you're enjoying 3 hopes. I hope you're enjoying 3 hopes. I hope it picks up your spirit. I hope hanging out helps out a bit. You know me. I do what I can. Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that, buddy. I hope you don't get bitten by the creature. I mean, whatever. Yeah, is there a creature? I hope you don't get bitten by the creature. Whatever that is. That's a great. I'm the creature? Oh yeah, listen. I definitely don't want to. I don't want to get bitten by anything. Any time I'm able to. Any day I'm able to not be bitten by something is a good day, honestly. Okay, so we might be good right here. Oh, okay, well, we're gonna use our reroll, and we got a 4. Great. Meister skins stand very small, and maybe Matt won't notice. You and Bliss are floating inside the bay's airlock, waiting for it to cycle. Pick a few leaves from your clothes as you wait. They float around the chamber as if carried by a lazy wind. Clean work. Bliss bows a little. Well, thank you, Sleeper. You didn't do so bad yourself. She checks her tool belt. Seems like we're getting into a good rhythm. The now familiar sequence of clunks and rattles sound out, and then the door hisses open. The moment it does, you know something that has once again gone wrong. What's all this? Bliss asks a confused-looking Moritz. Beside him are a set of crates anchored to the bay floor. He's clearly just brought them in through the bay's freight lock. Moritz looked nervously between the two of you before answering. It's payment. He runs a hand along the crate. The Sycamore Seed crew just brought them over. He stops, but seeing the look on Bliss's face adds, they were very thankful. I bet they were. She clenches her fist. What the hell is inside? Morris leans over and struggles with the crates catches on each side of the top crate. As he does, Bliss turns to you. Don't say it. Bliss stares into space. Don't you dare say it. I don't know what she means. We're gonna stay quiet. I don't know. Don't. She gives you a hard look. This isn't my fault. I mean, I don't know what's happening, so I don't know if what's happening? Morris finally gets the catches free and the lids float up, drifting up into the bay. As it does, a small brown lump floats up with it. Morris reaches out and catches it as it passes him. Is that a mushroom? Bliss finishes. A damn mushroom. They paid us in mushrooms? Not just mushrooms. He holds up a clump of tightly packed leaves. Produce. Bliss starts laughing. Goddamn Haifa commune. Should have known they didn't have a chit to rub between them. She knocks a small bound mushroom across the bay. Well, now hang on. Listen, I know a guy. We can listen. Stop, Bliss. Morris grabs her hand. These are good, fresh. We can sell them. Yeah, bud. Like, that's... Listen, is it a pain? Yes, but they didn't give you dirt. To who, Moritz? Are we running a grocer's now? We need cryo, otherwise this whole bay will be shut down. We can't pay for parts with leafy greens. She waggles them in Moritz's face. You know, this is what I wish I knew what was gonna happen. Because, like, I can use them. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, I can use them. Can I? To do what? Let's raise an eyebrow. What, 4 whole crates? Even you can't be that hungry. You can take a few, but the rest will sell. She smiles to herself. Or at least Moritz will sell them if he's so eager. Moritz closes up the crates and starts moving. Isn't that bad, Bliss? It's a step in the right direction. He glances at you looking for backup. Yeah, they'll sell well. Listen, I could go find like 3 people right now. Bliss sighs. Looks like I went into business with a couple of wannabe farmers. She laughs. Prove me wrong then. Show me this is a windfall. She kicks away towards the new patched together terminal. Until then, I'll be working on how to keep this place open. All right, it's fucking adventures of me and Moritz. Selling mushrooms. Let's go, bud. Moritz mouths a thank you and goes back to moving the crates. You'd better be on your way, too. All right, I got 3 Griot caps. What's that, a 4-step clock? 4-step clock. All right, fucking... Listen, is it what you wanted? No, but it's what you got, so... Can I not... Actually, can I not sell Griot caps somewhere? Oh, I mean, I can cook them at the Bontanya. What does that do for me? Gives you some energy. Okay, that makes sense. Listen, me and Moritz will figure it out. I get being upset, Bliss, but like, come on. Let's not... All right. Gotta try to get some spores here. My life. This game is so good. This game is so good and like smart. Like I was telling Aaron about it. Ooh, I have 3 points. I was telling Aaron about it, and I was like, it's amazing that the game actually, like, in the way that it mechanizes you living, like, it very much tells a story that other cyberpunk media isn't interested in telling, or isn't interested in telling that way. You know, and I was basically reiterating what we had talked about on stream. But Sleepy, you warm my heart with each delivery. Yeah, let's go see what she's talking about. But it's like, it's almost not cyberpunk, like it's almost solar punk, where it's like it's about resisting the machinations of cyberpunk, right? It's about resisting those forces and the forces that would want to grind you to dirt. Like that treat you like there's that whole scene where it's like they treat you as objects, and the only way to combat that is to see the humanity in each other, because the corporations never will, you know. And it was this game is just so good. Sleeper, Rika greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here, come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves, but I've been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the jars. Here we have Tricholoma Matsutake. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it was nothing. A species Solheim somewhat modified for its use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradiated bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the combination of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Modified? Yes, every species on the eye is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course, but that's not the point. Rico brings up another panel identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores look like. They aren't the same. That's the conclusion, yes. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They're fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back in size. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have, and still are, affecting them. Affecting them how? Well, it's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms. She meets your eye, and herein lies our problem. She moves to another desk where two trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it, the pungent aroma of the fruiting Matsutake like rotting, sodding overalls, laced with an edge of spice. The Matsutake here are grown from Solheim stalks, pulled from a spore vault in this complex. She winks. They're delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much she's enjoying this. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of the spores so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Rico looks impressed. Well, an eager mycologist. I never would have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place up for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsutake cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions, their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the cap. Enough of these, and we'll have a picture of what's happening here, of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself, or being modified, whichever the case may be. Rico pops the Matsutake cap into her mouth, taking you by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure not a single mushroom will go to waste. Alright, so now we can give her Grial or Matsutake samples. And she needs a bunch of them, which means we need to collect a bunch of spores. If only you had yeah, if only. Fill them up. And let them cook. I'm gonna keep the my Matsutake for when I don't have extra money. Because, like, money's good right now. But it won't always be. Okay, and then while that's cooking, yeah, we can go finish up the side reel. The side reel is done. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There's excitement in the air. Haven just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the side reel out there, its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you've watched it grow, be assembled. You've walked through its veins and welded its bones. It's now ready for the final stage. It'll go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it's deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. Yeah. Alright, let's hit up Stream Raiders again. A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. She'll be ready soon. Yeah, I know. It's exciting, although if you think about it, we're all out of a job now, he quickly adds. Not that I'm complaining. Lem comes to sit beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, me, and Mina out of here. So confident? Lem smiles apologetically. Well, why not? Figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. He rubs his hand just nervously. No use in wondering what if until the draw anyway. There's a few cycles till then. Lem is right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count pass through. And are the Celis Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense no one will hold them to it. Why else are they building the side rail in a surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. How's Mina doing? Lem's surprised by the question, but smiles. She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. Need to get you two together again soon. Especially now I won't see you here, either. Lem gazes into space. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle she doesn't want to go unless you can come too. He sighs. You ever been in a thunderstorm, Sleeper? Real big one? I don't remember. Lem shoots you a worried look for a moment. It's something else. He smiles. The sound, the smell, rain hammering down. The whole sky stretching out and bruised, roaring and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, dry old rock in a Conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was a dry as bone, dusty, ugly. The other was one long storm. A side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. Rain used to rattle off the roof like bullets, wash the dust away, turn the streets to rivers. It'd sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. We'd wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell, he sniffs. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina's never even seen a storm. Never felt rain. She's grown up here, the ring her only horizon. Always in the dark. I want to change that for her. You will. Of course. Almost there. Lem stands, stretching. Best get back to that little one anyway. With the shift's done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. He shoulders his gear. See you in a few for the draw? Good luck. Don't need it, he grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about rain. A little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the side rail really take you to a planet? A place with weather, skies, life? You get up quickly, before you can think about it too much. It's too soon to hope, too dangerous. There's work to be done. Alright. 6 cycles. Six cycles. And in 3 cycles, we'll have the draw. So. How much will they buy this for? 30? 30? I don't even think I could. I buy them for 48. And that's with me talking the guy into a discount. And you buy them for 30? Come on. I think I finished. Let's go up. Yeah, okay, so 2 more cycles there. All right, well, this is a nice, safe mission. Say, get a little bit of cryo, no biggie. But let's get a little scrap. We've got, yeah, we're starting to run out of some drives. So I want to stack up on goods. Oh, I meant to eat. Shit. I meant to eat before bed. All right. Let's get some scrap. Don't you just love fun guy? What a fun guy. This time, you meet inside Rabia's office. Although now that you've seen it, office feels like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems like much of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realize she's missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. Updates, she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Of course, yeah. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to the 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight-backed. Chia told me you've been doing the rounds, collecting tithes, patrolling the wards. She smiles. Some of the forces are impressed. I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to see for myself. She raised an eyebrow. See what for yourself? If I can trust you. I see. Rabia flexes her neck side to side. And the conclusion? Still deciding. Well, sleeper. Rabia says teasingly. Please keep us updated on any progress. She smiles a thin smile. Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the eye has been a struggle. But I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it that way, I know you, too, are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That's why you've come to us. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of you listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Well, that, Rabia looks between the 2 of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you 2? She looks strangely unfazed. Listen, I didn't know this was going to happen. Sabine pauses, thrown off by your silence. Rabia takes this opportunity to act. Oh, she leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inward. She's by far the stronger. She pushes Sabine to her knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. Stop! Then you support them? Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia. Sabine sits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think is about to hammer it down on Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws them down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing the switch and shutting off in a single move. Rabia, explain. They both look at you, each still catching their breath as if they'd forgotten about your presence. Explain what? How the moment I call my enforcers will come down here and take them away? Rabia cracks her neck. You're lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right. Every right! She shouts, the anger release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts himself a little, bruised from the fall. They roll their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props himself up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, she laughs. No coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. You refuse to listen to criticisms of the great Yadigan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arm and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes go into her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them. At least for now. When I came here from SNR, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know I should have told you I worked for SNR long ago, but I thought you would abandon me. You're my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNR because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on in the press. SNR wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could, to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect himself. What does that have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The Sleeper knows you're SNR, I told them. And while you hide behind the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It's true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it's Yannick, not me, who's in the pocket of SNR. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me in a way. In exchange. Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those. Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He's been using Yadigan enforcers, using you, as test subjects for SNR technology. I had the data to prove it. He's been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to their makers. Rabia's fixed expression starts to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. And she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifest and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you. Something like a thank you or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Drive complete. Rabia's office. 3 cycles. Enemy of my enemy. Rabia and Sabine have been holed up in her office for a while now. What are they planning? Well, I hope that's good. Maybe? Fingers crossed? You hope? Alright. I got 2 dice. Or I have a 2. And we're just gonna try... Just gonna get a little money. Just gonna get a little money. Oh, that's some good dice. Oh, hello? Oh, Bliss's clock is done. Sleeper. Moritz is leaning against the corridor wall. It's time. He looks away. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? I'm ready. All right then, we're in business. Pushes away from the wall. This has to work, Sleeper. Has to. He looks down. If it doesn't... Bliss okay? He frowns. I don't think so, but she isn't hiding that from anyone. Look, Bliss has a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, I didn't mean to be... He smiles. Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. He straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. And I would hate not to pay back my debts. Moritz stretches. I gotta get back. He nods and walks away. I'm out. See you up there. Well, you know, it's a good day. It's a good day for some good dice. The hell is that? Oh, it's got big solar sails. Starward Vector. All right, what are we looking at? Untangle the sails. So we need good ones. And we have 6 cycles to do it. So what's annoying is this gives less progress than this. But this also has a chance to lose progress. So... See, I can use a 4 on here where I couldn't use a 4 there. Man. All right, let's eat. I'm thinking about using my stabilizer. I've got 6 cycles. Okay, next cycle that'll be done. And then I can take the samples to Haifa. And then, oh, next cycle we have the draw too. All right. We got a couple things happening. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to self-repair so that I stay in 3 dice next cycle. All right. Crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard. You recognize faces among them, people you've worked alongside on the side reel. The intervening cycles have turned their excitement to anxiety, and a few of them smile at you. Oh, few of them smile at you. Instead, the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. You pick out Lemon Mina and work your way over to them, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises his eyebrows at you, his anxiety obvious, but Mina flashes you a huge smile, unaware of the tension. Robot! She shouts, reaching out to you. Hug her. She gratefully accepts your hug, leaning against your chest, and Lem smiles, seemingly glad to share the weight of Mina for a moment. Quite the turnout, huh? Lem glances around, pulling Mina close. I don't think patience is one of these crowd's strengths. The sound of an argument towards the back catches your and Lem's attention. He's putting it lightly. This place seems set to explode. This isn't good. Lem doesn't dare answer, but the look in his eyes suggests he agrees. This is Aster Eggert of the Celis Foundation. The announcement echoes from the speakers at the shipyard entrance, and shouts of quiet rapidly follow. I'm sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you, on behalf of Sandre Celis, for the work you've done on the sidereal horizon. Most of the crowd strains to see Aster's face, but the small display shows only a ghostly white figure, smudged and unclear. Sandre wanted me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to and belief in the Celis Foundation's mission. We chose the Eye for this project because we knew that we would find like-minded individuals here, especially among the ranks of the venerable Heavinage Association. Unlike most of the Corps, we neither believe Erlin's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embryo for a formation of a new, decentralized social structure, one where each citizen might be the master of their own destiny. A ripple of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a sermon. Yeah, it's like, listen, dog, whatever, get to it. You are all pioneers, like those, just like those core citizens who the sidereal horizon will carry, in cryosleep, to the planet that will become the Foundation's first frontier world, Celis 1. At the mention of the destination world, excited conversations break out among the workers. There, our citizens will be able to create their own innovative, bottom-up economic order, aligned with the principles sat down by Sandre Celis herself: freedom, resilience, and self-sustenance. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Havenage Yards. As a reward for your efforts, you may know we are offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of this vessel, the staff of the Sidereal Horizon who will maintain the vessel through its multi-decade transit through interstellar space. Lems turns to you, his eyes bright. This is it. This draw has been performed at random by the central AIs of the Foundation and is final and binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this draw. I know you have all been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will now read the Celis identification numbers for those chosen for your great honor. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute. A murmur runs through the crowd. Celis identification numbers? Licensed contractors? You never heard the term mentioned. Is this something you were supposed to be assigned? You glance at Lem, but his eyes are fixed forward, wide and shimmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tones like a rising wave. Aster starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what's happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts in celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Lem? You turn to see Lem still staring forward. Mina's scared now as the shouts start. Daddy? Someone throws something at the entrance and it rattles against the shipyard doors. You see, for the first time, Havenage security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd. Lem, let's go. He doesn't move. They might call out names. I can't. Mina tugs his dog tags. It's not happening. Lem blinks rapidly, then turns to you. He opens and closes his mouth and looks down at Mina. He sees the fear in her eyes and understands. It's time to go. You lead Lem and Mina out, shoving people aside. As you do, you hear the sound of scuffles emerging at the front of the crowd, of metal canisters bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away, the sound of Aster reading off the ciphers echoing above the chaos like some strange mantra. When you turn to Lem, there are tear tracks running down his cheeks, and Mina is sniffling into his jacket. You feel the sadness rising in you, too. They screwed you. Screwed all of you. You were never even on the list. The feeling is unpleasant as it is familiar. You stare ahead into the tunnel as the security sirens sound out, a signal for the coming violence. Drive failed. And then 3 cycles. Lem's out. There's a note on the door of the unit. Sleeper, gone to find work. Lem. The mundane and expected yet not anticipated cruelties of capitalism. Right, the feeling of, oh, this could be... Oh, of course. All right. Oh, I got a club head cap. I don't even know what that is. All right. I don't want to give up any more of my grill. That's for me. You know? Put that one in there. I wonder if that drive is just always a fail. You know? I wonder if it always fails regardless. Curious. Oh, okay. Let's go work on the ship, and then we'll see what's up with Rabiha. Yeah, cause oh yeah, we're already 2 cycles in. Yup. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for those dice. That was oof. That was beautiful. All right, wonderful. All right. I'm gonna fix myself up a little bit so that I stay at 3 dice, because I really don't want to go below 3 dice. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing, Rabia calls out as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. A man standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns to you to come in. Meet Yannick. Sleeper, he nods. I'm hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Stay silent. Rabia effortlessly fills the silence. The Sleeper's been running patrols in the ward. They know how we run things. Yannick raises an eyebrow, his eyes concealed behind tinted glasses. You feel his stare even if you cannot see it. Oh, Kira, don't cry. I'm sorry. Actually, Rabia places a hand on her shoulder. The Sleeper is what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What's going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hand in his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They've shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territory. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the room. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabia smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step close to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? Yes. Yannick nods his head as if listening to music. Okay then. You are suddenly unsure if he's talking to you. That concludes it. Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the yard. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it's so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Yannick. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she's deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. I think new drive discovered. Expose Yannick. If Sabina's right, Yannick has been working with SNR behind Yannick's back. Time to find out the truth. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, they're putting us in Yannick's ward so we can get close to him and figure out what's going on. Patrol the block. Dangerous engage. And we need to gain Yannick's trust. I only have 1 upgrade point. But yeah, that's it. Oh right, I needed to get more. I need to get more mushrooms for Haifa. That's right, for Rico. All right, we're gonna self-repair, so I stay at 3 dice. Side rail leaves next cycle. Man, what a fucking letdown on just. This is how you know it's a good game. Like, I'm mad about it. Like legitimately me, the person, am mad. Like, oh, come on. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's how you know it's good writing, when, like, I'm PO'd. And I feel like that's absolutely a situation people have had, where you're just like, oh yeah, you're gonna do this. You're mad about it. God. You know, where it's like, oh yeah, you're entered to win this thing or whatever the hell, and you're like, it's like, yeah, people with your identification numbers come for, and you're like, what are you talking about? What? I didn't. What is that? Was that a number I don't know? Is that a thing I don't know I have? You're mad about it, God. I wanted to leave because I wanted to get Mina out. I didn't like the idea of Mina being there. You know? I didn't like Mina being there. It felt bad. But okay. I'm very interested in the fact that there were options that were like press forward and all of this, where it's like, that seems wildly dangerous. There it is. It's gone. It's gone. A new Pokemon got teased. I saw that. They had a little, oh yeah, there it is. Oh. There's even more, even better little look at it. The little turtle. It's a new one that looks very similar. It looks like it's like a pre-evolution or something like that. Yeah, they had it on the anime. Actually, I should go get the anime while I'm thinking of it. Oh my gosh, come on. I don't know. I don't think I got all of the all of the end of the last season. Yeah. Definitely need to look through my Pokemon collection and get stuff updated. I wish there was a better way to track that. I should look into that. All right, what's going on with Lem? There's no answer when you buzz Lem's unit, but the door is open. You push the door and find Mina sitting in the middle of the floor playing with Bun Bun. Hi, Mina. Hi, robot, says Mina solemnly, waving Bun Bun's paw without looking up. Where's Daddy? Mina doesn't respond. She walks Bun Bun across the floor, narrating quietly to herself. You look around the unit. It's a mess. Dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothes piled up in a corner. Mina's sitting by her bag, which is spilled across the floor, her drawing slate cracked and dark. Let's tidy up. Sometimes you just need... You start with the kitchen units, piling up the dishes in the auto wash and wiping them down. You pile the clothes up next, folding them neatly. Mina watches you quietly as she plays, curious but silent. You've just started to look at her cracked slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you... He pauses and looks from you to Mina and back again. Never mind. He drops a bag by the door and slumps onto the couch. Everything okay? Lem lets out a weak laugh. You forgot the past few cycles now too? Wish I was so lucky. He looks away at the open door. Look, now's not a good time. I want to help. Help? Unless you have a side rail ticket or two on you, I don't think there's much you can do here. Pinches the bridge of his nose. You understand they never even put us on the list, right? I've been all around the rim looking for work. I've run in more than a few from the crews. Turns out only long-time Havenage members were issued those Celis ID numbers. They never planned to consider us. Havenage says they didn't know that was what they were going to use to make the draw. And who knows, maybe Celis pulled the wool over their eyes. Doesn't matter. All those hours in the yard for hand-to-mouth wage and nothing else. He slams his fist down on the sofa. You're giving up? Lem opens his mouth to respond, but stops himself. He looks at the open door again. They're moving the side rail up the hub now, you know, without meeting your eye. That's where it'll depart from. They're bringing in a ship with all their cryosleep pioneers and transferring them up there in microgravity before loading the crew. We could sneak aboard. Think they're just going to let people on board? The security they'll have has to be impossible. He looks over at Mina. Look, we'll be fine. We always have been. I just need a little time. He sighs. We had our hearts set on that trip is all. Mina comes over and climbs into his lap. He smiles. What if I got you on board? I miss you these last few cycles. I miss that optimism. Lem strokes Mina's hair. Look, you want to go up to the hub and ask around? Be my guest. I can't get up there with Mina down here, and I'm sure the side will bring in a crowd. But be careful. This kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find anyone on board, you take it. You want help to get there? Ask me, but for now, me and Mina here are sticking the eye. He smiles. She looks up at him and smiles. I'll find a way for us all. Lem smiles but doesn't say anything. You stand to leave, and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. And then you're out, back on the walkways of the low end, already thinking of plans to make this right. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go see what's going on. I probably have to go work at my other job, but let's go. Side rail dock. Side rail horizon departure terminal. Scout the dock. Way on board. There doesn't seem to be anything that's timed, but I do gotta do my job. I'm gonna okay. That was very scary. That was very scary. Oh, I wish I could have used a 4. I could have used a 4 on Patch the Solar Sails. I didn't even think about that. The atmosphere in the airlock is euphoric. You and Bliss keep grinning at each other like idiots. Exhausted, blinded, sore, and aching idiots. Sleeper, that was incredible. She punches you on the arm. I never thought we were gonna make it. Those idiots tangled the whole thing up like nothing I've ever seen. We make a good team. Bliss smiles a winning smile. As the lock's inner door clunks open, Morris gives a rare whoop. He looks exhausted too, and for good reason. Morris has been the one ferrying tools and parts back and forth from the ship. His tired smile tells you he's glad it's done. Sleeper? Bliss? He shakes his head. Impressive. When I saw that ship come in, I thought there was no way. Why, thank you, Morris, for believing in us. Morris rolls his eye. You know what I mean. Take the compliment. He shoulders some of the gear that came back with you in Bliss and heads to the racks to stow it. Bliss turns to you. I think you should be the ones to do the honors. She nods to the ragged-looking console that Morris assembles. I don't want to jinx it. She smiles, but you can see she's genuinely nervous. Check the console. You glide over the console and tap the screen. It takes a second to see what you're doing through the flickering, cracked display, but after a moment you see the accounts. And there it is. Almost 1,000 cryo sat in the bay's transfer account. Well, Bliss calls, have we been screwed again? We did it! Bliss kicks from the floor and spins into the bay, shouting as she does. The noise takes Morris by surprise, and he knocks a rack of parts, carrying handfuls of metal fixings across the bay. The sight is something. Glinting steel catching the work lights like glitter. Sorry, says Bliss, grinning, when she comes back down. I needed that. She kicks off and joins you at the terminal. Moritz even managed to sell that produce. We made a tidy profit. Eventually. She laughs. Here. She loads a stack of blank chits into the terminal and transfers a chunk of the cryo to them. This is your cut. Bliss hands you the chits. Thank you for believing in this place. She looks away and smiles. Even when I couldn't. When you first met me, I was on the edge of giving up. All it would have taken was one more push. But now this place is sparking again. Work is coming in, there's funds in the accounts. Even Morris has a spring in his step. You both look over at him, happily racking up the tools. That's because of you. She punches you in the arm. He likes you. What's his deal? What, why is he always so quiet? I'm not so sure. He doesn't much like to talk about himself, that one. She leans in closer. You know, he came here looking to rob the place? I gave him a job instead. She laughs. Don't tell him I told you that. I just thought it might help you understand the kid. Morris turns to look at you, and both of you and Bliss awkwardly wave, like... What now? From here on out, it's going to be a little easier. I'm going to look for some component contracts, stuff that'll keep us inside the bay, but not out in the black. No need to risk our necks if we don't need to. You want to cash out? That's fine. But there'll always be work for you here when you need it. Yeah, I'll be back. Listen, the side reel's gone, so I need a way to make money. She smiles and then, out of nowhere, quickly gives you a hug. She steps back and glances around reflexively. Take care, she says softly. You too. Turn to leave. And Sleeper? Yeah? She smiles. Don't spend it all at once. Woo! We made 300 cryo! God dang! And in 6 cycles... Oh, I can... Oh! Okay. One last job. 6 cycles, but now we have a new workplace. We have a new work spot. But all right, I'm gonna take my morning break a little early, but it's a good spot for it. It's a good little breaking point. I'm gonna go walk Josie, do all that morning stuff, refill my water. If you haven't for a little bit, get up, move around a little bit, take a stretch, drink some water, all that kind of good stuff. And I'll see you all back here in just a little bit.